Preservations of latent fingerprints. The primary precautions in all cases is prevent of adding fine fingerprints to evidence or the destroying those already present. Most fingerprint must submit will be on the paper, glass, metal, or the other smooth surface object. Touch as little as possible and only in the areas least likely to contain identifiable latent such as root surface. The latent prints in glass material articles and firearms should be placed on wood or heavy cardboard and fastened down with string to prevent shifting and contact with other objects in the transit. Papers and documents containing latent prints should be placed individually in cellophane or manila envelope. 3 types of fingerprints that can be found in crime scene. First, we have the latent fingerprints are made of sweat, soil, and skin surface. This type of fingerprint is invisible to naked eye and requires additional processing in order to be seen. Patent fingerprints can be made by blood, grease, ink, or dirt. This type of fingerprint is easily visible to the human eye. 3. Plastic fingerprint are 3-dimensional impressions and can be made by pressing your fingers in fresh paint, wax, soap, or tar. Now let's move on to the last topic, which is the lesson 4, the general rules on equipment in processing evidence. General rules in collection and preservation of the biological evidence in materials. First, we have the use protective. If possible, avoid touching individual smears, trays. Remember that gloves can entail RX contamination. Change gloves after handling each kind of material and otherwise as necessary. Use disposable equipment for preliminary test and collection of trace evidence. Cover surface where material are to be placed in protective paper. Keep victims and suspects' clothes separately. Avoid coughing or sneezing on the evidence. Packaging of biological material. Use paper packaging for all biological material or materials that are soiled with biological matter. Separate other package are to be used for trace evidence and for clothes from persons involved. Do not mix material samples from different people, for example, clothes in the same pattern or parcel. Fold the opening of the bag twice and seal with tape. Envelope should also be sealed with tape. Prevent contamination by avoiding all contact between collected evidence and clothes seized from people. It is these special precautions. Make an explicit note if a person from whom material has been collected in a suspected having an infectious disease. Package containing collected material must be not opened until the examination in the laboratory is commenced or done. Material for evidence packaging, marking, and sealing. We have the acceptable packaging containers depending on the type of evidence, including the paper bags, plastic bags, boxes, manila envelopes, small glass. Number 2 is acceptable seal. Tamper-proof evidence tape, reinforced packaging tape, heat seal. Information on each package should minimally include name of agency, agency case number, item number, date, and investigator's identifier. Number 4 is additional packaging of evidence should include where the item was found, by whom, date and time, and description of the evidence. So that's why special precautions is acquired. Traditional method of preserving or recording evidence. First, with the photographs, audio and or videotape. microfilms, photostat, Xerox, voice tracing, and more. Photograph is considered to be the most practical, useful, and reliable means of preservation due to the following reasons. A. Photo camera is available in many places. The object preserved is reduced in size in picture proportionately with others object and adjacent or near to it. An unlimited number of copies can be reproduced, each of which identical to the one another. Scratching. It is no scientific apparatus to preserve evidence is available, then rough drawing of the scene or the object to be preserved is done. Observation and description. Description is done by putting into the woods by a person or thing to be preserved. What is portrait? Parallel spoken picture. It refers to the verbal, accurate, and picturesque descriptions of the person identified, such as information may be given by the witness, relative, or other person who are acquainted with the physical features of the person to be identified. It is the general impression, types of personality, apparent social status, the age and sex, race or color, height, weight, build, thin, slender, medium, or stout, posture, erect, slouching, round shoulder, head size and shape, hair color, length, baldness, face general impression, and this type are the forehead, high, low, bulging or proceeding, eyebrows, brushy or thin shape, mustache, length, color, shape, ears, size, shape, size, lobe, and angle of set, eyes, small, medium, or large, color, eyeglasses. Check, high, low, or prominent, medium, check, bones, sunken. Nose, short, medium, or big, or long, straight, coiling, or flat, or pug. Mouth, wide, small, or medium, general impression. Lips, shape, thickness, color. Teeth, shade, condition, defect, missing elements. Chin, size, shape, general impression. Neck shape, and jaw length, shape, lean, heavy, or medium. In the neck shape, we have the thickness, length, Adam's apple. Shoulder with the shape. Wrist size and shape. Hands length, size, hair, conditions of the palms. Finger length, thickness, stains, shape of nails, conditions of the nails. Arms long, medium, short, muscular, normal, or thin, thickness of the twist. Number 7, feet size and deformities. If a skilled illustrator is available, a picture of a person to be identified must be drawn of sketch or cartographic sketch. The cartographic sketch is this one, that one. The witness will describe the victim will describe the person that commit the crime or done the crime. So it is the investigator may look at what is commonly called rogues gallery, photographic files of wanted or missing person for comparison with cartographic sketch. Mannequin method. In the miniature model of the scene or the human body, it is indicating marks of the various aspects of the things to be preserved. And the anatomical model or statute be used, and injuries are indicated with their appropriate legends. Preservation in the wind of the witness. Who perceived something relevant, hot, proper adjudications of the case may be a witness in a court if he has the power to transmit to other what is preserved. We have the types of it. We have the capacity of a person remembered time, place, and event may be destroyed or modified by length of time, age of witness, and the other one is confusion with other evidence, trauma, or disease, thereby making the recollection not available. D. We have the preservations is coterminous with the life of the witness. If the witness dies, then the evidence is lost. Human-made can easily be subject to many extraneous factors that be many cases distortions of the truth. Written notes what you have seen or observed. Developing and lifting fingerprints found at the crime scene. Gathering physical evidence. Plaster cast. Written statement of the subjects and witness. Integrity of trace evidence. Protection of trace evidence from loss or contamination is essential. One of the primary paths of contamination is from the collector of the evidence. What is principle of chain of custody? It is the evidence passes through the several persons for several purposes. It is to a principle of chain of custody must be observed. The chain of custody is most critical put of the evidence documentation. What is chain of custody rule? It is the paramount and if surface to the investigation. It is unbroken sequence of event that is caused by an item of evidence from the time it is found at the crime scene to the time it appears in the court. What does chain of custody do? The chain of custody proves the integrity of piece of evidence. It is a proper trail maintained so that the persons who had charge of the evidence at any given time can be known quickly and summoned to testify during the trial and required. So that is the topic for today, the evidence or the evidence in crime. So the lesson 1 was the evidence. The lesson 2 is the legal classifications of the evidence, and number 3 is the collecting, marketing, tagging, and preserving evidence. And lesson 4 is the general rules, equipment, and proceeding the evidence. It is all the method of the PNP or the investigator. So thank you for your listening. Have a nice day. Thank you.